The Edmonton Oilers defeat the Vegas Golden Knights 5-3. Let's talk about it. I'll be honest. Exceptional game. Was it the best game of hockey I've ever seen a team play? No. Considering the circumstances they were in, was it exceptional? Yeah, it was. They walked into Vegas, the hardest building to win a game in my opinion, because of just how rabid the fan base is there. They walked into Vegas, and other than the first few minutes of that game, for the most part, they took control, they scored, they stayed in control, and they were able to shut down the Vegas Golden Knights. Did it get close at points? Yeah, of course. It's Vegas. Of course it was going to. Even with them missing Max Pacioretty, Mark Stone, Alex Tuch, and Alex Martinez, it was going to still get close at points because that team still has a ton of talent and a ton of depth. But for the most part, this was a game where you didn't feel a lot of tension. You didn't feel like the Oilers could fall back. You felt confident in saying that they were going to win, at least for me. Maybe for others they had a different perspective on it. But for the guy who thought going into this game this was going to be the Oilers' biggest challenge, I was left very, very pleased with the result of this game. Let's get into it, shall we? 3 lineup swaps and 1 lineup movement tonight. I guess that's the best way to put it. When it comes to the 3 players in and 3 players out, Perlini goes out, Benson in, Turris out, Scaviour in, Cuckoo out, Russell in. What do I think about all these moves? Well, not all that important. Perlini and Turris were okay on the 4th line, but the 4th line really wasn't getting a lot of anything. They weren't doing anything bad, but they weren't doing anything good, so it didn't really make a big impact changing that up. Good to see Tyler Benson get into a game, though. This is something I've been clamoring for. A lot of Oilers fans have been clamoring for it, so it's good to see him get in. And Slater Cuckoo for Chris Russell. I mean, Russell didn't do bad, and he actually got an assist tonight. So we'll take what we can get here, folks. And the other big moves, the big change in the lineup was Evan Bouchard moving up to the top pair. I think that this was a good move. Evan Bouchard looked good all night long in the top pair role, and Barry down to the 3rd, which, again, I think he looked good in that role because I didn't point out a drastic mistake he made, which led to a goal for the opposition. No offense to Barry, his start's not been that good, and I didn't notice anything bad that he did tonight, which means his start has improved because he's moved down to the 3rd pair. And the big thing that stays the same, that I didn't think would, Mikko Koskinen starts. I did not think he'd start tonight after starting last night. He did. He started tonight. We'll see in the next couple of days if that ends up looking like a good or bad decision, and I'll explain why later. But for the most part, not the worst decision in the world. Let's get into the goals, shall we? The first goal of the night comes for the Vegas Golden Knights. Zach Whitecloud takes a shot from the point. It bounces off of Nick Roy and goes in past Mikko Koskinen. I'm not mad about it because this is one of those goals where it kind of just takes a bounce and it goes in. That just kind of happens. That's going to happen in the NHL. And honestly, the thing I'm happy about with it was that the goals we gave up to Vegas tonight, especially this one, it wasn't like we were giving them easy breakaways or nice open shots anywhere like we had even done against a team like Anaheim, say. Vegas had to work for goals tonight. They did. They had to find different ways to score. They had to be a bit more, mean about it. They couldn't just snipe. They had to use deflections and tips and traffic, and we made it hard for them to score tonight. Or maybe it was that they were having a hard time scoring tonight. And maybe I'm being too harsh on them. They are division rivals, and I really want that top spot in the division, so maybe that's why I'm being ultra aggressive. Also, it might just be because I haven't been able to watch them in a very long time, other than the 6 games they played against Montreal. I don't think it's fair to judge them off those 6 games against Montreal. because of the way the divisions were last year, I didn't get to watch them a lot. So maybe I'm just completely wrong about them, and you can let me know down below that I am. But for the most part, I thought that good job for the Knights to be able to get on the board with that one. You know, with deflections and stuff like that, good that they're able to, but I'm happy that the Oilers were able to keep them from getting any easy goals tonight. That's something I'm happy about. White Cloud makes it 1-0 though. Sorry, Waugh makes it 1-0 though. White Cloud on the assist. Then a little bit later in the period, Riley Smith takes a holding penalty, and out comes the dreaded and daunted Oilers power play, and they strike early. Tyson Barrie's able to hold the line after the puck almost escapes, gives the puck over to Connor McDavid. He walks in and looks like he's going to shoot, drags Robin Lehner out of the net, pretty much, just drags him completely over, takes the shot, it goes under the pads, a couple people poking away at it, it ends up coming free, going off the skate of Zach Hyman, and it's a goal. It's a goal for Zach Hyman. His 4th goal in his 5th game with the Oilers. Man, wouldn't it be cool if he hit, like, goal per game or something like that with how well he's played? Moving on to the second period now. Dylan Coghlan has a very similar situation to Zach Whitecloud. He takes a shot from the point, and it bounces off of Nolan Patrick and in. Like, again, like, you wish on this one. This is one that I'm a little upset about just because it did go 5-hole on Koskinen, and if you've heard anything I'd said about the team last year, you know that when it comes to goaltending, I was annoyed with how many goals Koskinen was letting in 5-hole. You kind of wish that it just didn't squeak through and that he could have done something. But considering the result of this game, and considering the fact this was his 2nd game in 27 hours, when you look at it by the end of it, yeah, I'm not going to get that mad about how Mikko Koskinen played. I'm just not. I'm just not going to find it in me to do that. So, again, we made it hard for them to score goals tonight. This was the type of goal they had to score, and it is a shame it went in, but hey, what you going to do about it? Tell me what you're going to do about it. Man, I'm acting really condescending tonight. I'm acting really condescending. I think it's just because I'm tired. I think it's just fatigue. I went from doing nothing hockey coverage-wise to just jumping back into the swing of things. I think I'm just fatigued, which is not good because it's only Game 5, and there's like 77 more of these to go. And this is like one of the easier stretches in the season. Oh boy, things are going to get interesting, folks. But the lead would not stay in Vegas' hands for too long. The Oilers would end up getting it back to a tie off of Zach Hyman. Remember how I said it would be nice if he hit a goal per game? Well, yeah, he did. He did hit a goal per game pace. Zach Hyman, because he's just the best at everything, grabs the puck, drives into the zone, goes around the net, loses the puck, Pools Jarvis there. He pokes it over to that Connor McDavid guy, who we know is that pretty good player, and I'm surprised I haven't had to talk about him yet. Connor McDavid has it. He sees Zach Hyman up in the slot, passes it out. Hyman, one-timer, boom, 3-2 lead. No, not a 3-2 lead. That's coming on the next one. 2-2 game. The Oilers tie it up. Not long after. Next shift, as a matter of fact. Kelly Yamamoto has the puck, brings it around the net, similar to what Hyman did, except it was already set up in the zone. Feeds it out to the point. Pretty sure it was Tyson Barrie. Barrie takes a shot. It bounces off a body, and it falls right into the lap of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He sees Draisaitl winding up for the 1T. He knows what to do. Feed over to Draisaitl. One-timer. Nuge hops out of the way of the shot. It goes right through. It's a 3-2 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. Man, the Oilers looked good when they had McDavid and Dry on the same line at home. They look even better when they have the Dry line and Hyman, McDavid, Pools, Jarvi. That top six is scary no matter what way you configure it. And it makes sense as to why it is. It just makes sense as to why it is. You put that much talent in there, of course it's going to be scary. We transition into the third period, a face-off in the Edmonton Oilers zone. The Vegas Golden Knights win it. It's a bit of a scrummy face-off. Goes out to the point. Nick Hague takes a slap shot, and boom, it is a 3-3 tie. I was about to write a tweet about how good the Oilers were doing and how I thought they could be contenders, and that goal went in, and I immediately hit the backspace and held it down until the tweet was gone, and didn't even look towards Twitter on the page before it was gone. Yeah, it sucked to see that goal go in. It really did. Again, it wasn't an easy goal for them to score, which is good. We weren't really giving them a lot. But it just sucks. I mean, honestly, and really, you couldn't do a lot about it. Like, the thing with the Oilers' defense so far this season is that when I'm sitting there watching it, I'm having a harder time being able to say, this player is responsible because this player messed up. It's kind of just, all the goals this year have just been situations where it's out of control most of the time. You can't really control it. It's more based on the skill of the other team and less on the inefficiencies of yours. So, yeah, can't, again, like, the best thing I can say criticism-wise is, on the draw, you try to win it. You gotta win that draw. They don't get the puck if you win that draw. Defensive zone draws are important. We gotta keep winning them, and we gotta make sure stuff like this doesn't happen. That's the best I got for you. Not long after that, though, the Oilers strike right back to make it a 4-3 lead. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to try and set up in the zone, and from their zone, they fire a stretch pass out. Duncan Keith intercepts it and says, hey, these stretch pass things, I like them. Let me give one a shot, and gives one right up to Zach Kassian. Yep, the other Zach also did a lot of good things tonight, including this goal. He got the puck, zoomed forward a little bit, and did a nifty little move and ended up sliding it under Robin Lehner on the backhand. It's a 4-3 game for the Oilers, and yes, you did hear me right. Robin Lehner, I love you. Thank you for being the NHL's Joker, but you just allowed Zach Kassian to score on a breakaway against you. Woo! That's fun. That's fun. Hey, listen, it's no hate against Zach, but normally most of his goals don't come from breakaways. It normally comes from net front play. He got a breakaway and scored. This feels a lot like Nick Delorier sniping on Mike Smith, except a little bit more justifiable. Yeah, Oilers lead 4-3. The period ticks down, and eventually, with about a minute and a half left, Lehner gets pulled. There's a timeout by the Knights. That means we get 6-on-5, and there's a bit of chaos in the Oilers zone. Nothing that challenging. Mikko Koskinen making a couple saves every now and then. Dry ends up getting the puck and shooting it down the ice with about 11 seconds on the clock. It goes in. It's 5-3. And the Edmonton Oilers have won this hockey game. Can't say I was expecting it. I'll be honest. I don't know if I mentioned it off the top. This is like my third or fourth take of this, so I've mentioned this a few times. I had low expectations going into this game. And listen, call me a bad fan all you want. Look at the situation we were walking into. It's justifiable. We were walking into the second half of a back-to-back against our best opponent in the hardest arena to win in. The odds aren't exactly in your favor. But it all worked out. We ended up winning. We're a 5-0 hockey team now. Before I go into my final thoughts on everybody and final thoughts on the game, let's just quickly run over some statistics, shall we? Edmonton outshot by Vegas 39-33. Edmonton 29 hits, Vegas 22. 1 for 3 power play for Edmonton, 0 for 3 power play for Vegas. On Edmonton's side, Draisaitl had 2 goals and an assist. Hyman had 2 goals. McDavid had 2 assists. Kassian had a goal and 7 hits. And JP and Nuge both had an assist as well. Mikko Koskinen, 36 saves on 39 shots. Vegas, Nick Roy, whatever. Nick Waugh, 1 goal, 1 assist. Nolan Patrick, 1 goal. Nick Hag, 1 goal. McNabb, 1 assist, 3 hits. Coughlin, 1 assist, 2 hits. And Robin Lehner, 28 saves on 32 shots. I thought the team played about as well as you could expect from them in this situation. You got great goaltending. The defense didn't fall under a lot of problems tonight. Wasn't a lot of issue that I had with how they played. Good to see Bouchard up on that top pair. The third line for the Oilers continues to be the third line that they've needed for a long time. Fogle, Ryan, Cassian is a good combination. They work well together. They're able to not only play good defensively, but now we've seen they are able to translate this into good offense as well. So they are a true third line. This is the type of third line, and we've seen this with Tampa. This is the true type of third line that you need to win hockey games in the playoffs. So that's a good sign. I already mentioned it. The top six is one of the most dynamic in hockey. You can really position these guys in any line combinations you want, and you're going to get some success. All in all, I'm happy with how the team played. Like I said, hard game to have to go in and play. They were able to pull it off, and now they get a few days off. They get until Wednesday to relax, recuperate. By that point, Mike Smith should be back, and it should be back to a Smith-Koskinen tandem. I would assume Smith does start in Edmonton against Philadelphia. I just feel like he will. Unless he's not ready, of course. And if he's not ready, no, we're not going to play him. We shouldn't play him at all. Go back to Koskinen. He'll have 5 days rest. Yeah, folks. I don't really have a lot more to say. I'm sorry that I'm not as high energy as I normally am. I think it's just kind of like a hockey team. Second night of a back-to-back fatigue. I have watched a lot of hockey because I also watched the Leafs-Sharks game earlier today. I am feeling tired. I am feeling very tired and very burnt out from hockey, and will probably take a break from that. That being said, I am kind of intrigued in playing the video game a bit tonight, so yeah. That's probably not going to work out well. What did you think of the game tonight, folks? Please let me know down below. The Edmonton Oilers are 5-0. What do you think about that? What do you think about Zach Hyman? Let me know down below. I thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you all on the next one. Goodbye for now. If it'll stop recording. Bye, everyone.